Owners Off Script. Real owners, real conversations. Supported by Sales Geek.
Welcome to another Owners Off Script with me, Richard. And today I have got a guy who is known as many as the masterful leader of the Samphire Club, but I know him as Mr. John Harvey, a UK business networker, and as I said, founder of the Samphire Club, a private membership club focused on connecting business owners and facilitating commercial relationships with decades of experience, and may I point out, also a book, which has just appeared on my desk today. He positions himself as a connector, someone who helps entrepreneurs and build valuable partnerships through introductions, events, and strategic networking. I think that's the formal bit done.
Thank you, Richard,
How did that sound?
for having me. Sounded like you've done some research.
Yeah, sponsored by ChatGPT. So, listen, we're here today to have one of those conversations where there's no scripts and it's just whatever you say, it goes, right? So let's start with, who are you really? That's what I want to know, because I know you as the guy who likes to go to very nice places, bring people together, network, good food, nice wine. But who are you underneath all of that?
Underneath all that, I am someone who loves people, loves food and drink. So you got that. But I get a buzz out of connecting people, or it's helping people, same as you. If I could do this for free because I was obscenely wealthy, which I'm not, I would. It's the best fun ever.
So tell us a little bit about your history then. So you alluded to a conversation earlier on about you were in a big sales environment at one point. So talk us through I'm going to say the decades, because I'm going to be polite, a couple of the decades that you've been working. What have you been up to?
Okay, it might be more than two. I left Poly with a degree in business studies, didn't know what I wanted to do, fell into sales by accident, as you did in the 80s. Oh God, I sold life insurance, commission only. I had a very brief flirtation trying to sell Apple Mac computers.
Was that in the early days?
Yeah. Yeah, the little tiny ones. So I couldn't do that. Then I found my happy place, international courier. So think FedEx, DHL, TNT, that world.
Yeah.
And I was in London in that industry for 20 years.
Wow.
And that was sales in the 80s, heavily targeted, lots of KPIs, all of the above, but so much fun.
Was it?
So much fun.
Take me to one of your sort of favourite moments then, back in the 80s in sales.
Oh, okay, this is a funny story. So one of my big accounts was an advertising agency called Lagos Delaney. They had the Nike account. No, they had the Adidas account. So they were shipping tapes from Soho. This would never happen anymore. It would all be done online. So I'd get phone calls in the middle of the night at home from the creators at Lagos going, John, what's the latest we can get the tape out? And I would go, where is the tape? Which finishing house? And I said, no, just which one? Because I know you haven't got it. Smoke and Mirrors. Okay, I'd phone Smoke and Mirrors, and they go, John, what time we've got to be finished? I went, bike is coming in for 5:30. We've got to get on the morning Concorde to go to New York to hit the transfer over to the west coast of Portland. And for that one delivery, we would charge them 900 quid in the region of, because they could get hold of me, and it was fun. Anyway, I took...
In the 80s, £900.
Yeah.
What would that be equivalent to now?
No idea, but a lot.
Thousands.
And you figure we were billing Lagos, who would then mark it up and bill Adidas. So
wow.
The 80s, it was a license to print money. This is pre-mobile phones as well. And dial-up internet just come.
All right, anybody watching this wouldn't have a clue how to survive with that mobile phone.
No.
And what a Rolodex was.
Oh, a Rolodex, yes, or a little black book.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was fun. Yeah, there's this thing, if you run into people who worked in London in the 80s, there's a knowing look, because we worked hard, but we played very hard. But you got into work. I don't want to diss the younger generation. It was very different times.
Where did your work ethic come from?
Actually, do you know what? I was lazy for a long time. I just wanted a paycheck, and I cruised. So it was only when I started working for myself that I think you would know this better than me. You either sink or swim. And then suddenly you just, Do
you ever look back on that time when you were cruising and think to yourself, if only I'd gone another gear or two, where would I be now?
No.
Someone with no regrets?
I don't believe in regrets, and I don't believe in looking back. Yes, do I have regrets? Yes, of course I do. But I think it's unhealthy if you can look back and pick out the positives. So all of those years in sales taught me about people. It taught me the crucial things. Why do people buy? Because these days, I always advise companies, don't sell. Get people to buy from you, and there is a difference.
Go on then, I'm going to push you.
Okay.
What was one of your regrets in life?
One of my regrets in life? Work-wise?
Yeah, go on.
Work-wise, one of my regrets? Oh, I've handled people. In the early days of Samphire, one, I took on members that I shouldn't have taken on.
Yeah.
And I have had incidents which I could have handled better. People that I could have handled better.
And how do you think you've grown from that then?
You grow all the time. To be able to sit here now feeling comfortable and actually thinking, I have a business that's 10 years old. I've got another limited company. As my accountant likes to go, she said, John, you've got 2 limited companies. You're a mogul. I went, yeah. And she said, you don't know what you're doing, do you? I went, nope.
I love the honesty. This is what this is about, is understanding.
Do you know Mike? Do you know Lucy Thomas at Lingard and Thomas?
I know I don't, but nice little name check.
Good name check. Great accountants.
And they've served you well.
They have, yeah.
So
I do whatever they tell me.
So how many years were you employed for before you decided to step out?
20 in London, another 30.
So at what age did you decide to go and do your own business?
55.
What made
Which
you wait
is
till
old.
What made you? Because I decided I was coming up to 40.
Okay.
And I've got a big history as to why I didn't do it beforehand.
Yeah.
But I got to a point of turning 40, and I decided that I am happily married. One of the few men that probably are, but I'm happily married. I have 2 great kids.
Young people would say to you, what is wrong with you?
I'm nearly 20 years. I'm married, 2 kids, got a dog. I'd already had the midlife crisis by buying a BMW, and we'd moved house. So when I was coming up to 40, I thought, what else is there left to do? Suck in the job and set up a business. But you waited to 55.
Yeah, and I didn't have a plan to set up a business either. It was my hand got forced.
What happened?
Okay, do you remember in the old days, you may not have known, I used to work for a company called 3B International, Courier down here, a family company, and we had a consultant come in to turn the company around, and he was very good. He did do that, actually. But then we had a bit of an internal thing because he left his wife, she left her husband, and they are now happily married, and they've adopted kids, lovely kids. I met them at the airport in Bristol a couple of years ago.
Of all places.
Random, yeah, going through security. Hello. But that was my cue for lots of reasons. That was my time to leave there. And I had no idea what I wanted to do. Certainly wasn't working for myself, and it certainly wasn't running a business.
At 55, it's a brave move. At that time, though, were you financially secure when you decided to do this?
No.
Nothing?
No. I actually drew down pension to launch it and finance it for 1 year. And I actually remember saying to someone, I'll finance it for 1 year, and then when it fails, I'll go and get a proper job.
What made you think it would?
Oh, lots of reasons. Imposter syndrome. I wasn't taken very seriously.
John Harvey, imposter syndrome.
I still get imposter syndrome.
Do you?
And I had imposter syndrome for the first, definitely 8 years or something.
Right.
It's 10 now. Oh, for sure. I wasn't taking it seriously. I thought I was treating it like a gap year. It'd be a bit of fun, just to do something different.
To be fair, I remember you launching this, right? I was working elsewhere, and I saw these pictures of you appearing with a glass of something in your hand and a cheese board not too far away.
Yep.
And you were surrounded by lots of people, and it just looked a bit like a socialite event.
And that's the way it came across. There was that. I remember many years ago in the early days, I can't remember what her name was now. As a Cornish leading lady coach, she said, John, please stop using the word schmoozing, which is we used to love that word in the 80s. She said, because from your social media, it looks like you're a party boy. I know you're far more serious than that, so I would drop that word. So I never use that word anymore, but I've just used it now. But
not to describe one of your events.
Yeah.
So there you are. It's day 1. John Harvey is employed by himself.
Yeah.
What did you do?
I woke up in the Greenbank Hotel after the launch party. I'm sorry you didn't get to that because it was great in Truro, thinking, what happens now? I hadn't scheduled any events. If someone said, John, I want to join, invoice me, I wouldn't have been able to cut an invoice. And this feeling of huge anticlimax. What on earth happens now? I wasn't prepared at all.
How did you overcome it?
Fortunately, there was enough goodwill in the business community, so people, and you got to remember, it was new, it was different, it was shiny.
It was shiny, yeah.
Yeah, so people were attracted. And so people joined. I did start doing some events, but in terms of running a business, any regrets? I wish I had known enough then to outsource my admin, outsource everything, but I didn't. So I burnt out in about month 5.
Wow.
Really badly. I was really ill.
What happened?
Oh, I ended up on my sofa dribbling for about 2 weeks. Couldn't even leave the house.
As in just completely white?
Yeah. People were going, John, you need to out. I said, I can't afford to. I'm running out of money. I said, you can't afford not to. Look at the state of you. Do you know remember a guy called Gary Langan?
Yes.
He, name check for Gary Langan, because I haven't seen him for years. He invited me for coffee at the Green Bank and sat me down and went, okay, let's have a conversation. Where are you at? Because you look like shit, reading between the lines. He then took me under his wing and helped me for the rest of that year 1. And I remember we survived the first year, yeah? And he took me out for lunch. I think we went to the Headland or somewhere. And he said, how do you feel? Because you survived a year and a lot of people don't. And I'm going, Gary, I feel like shit. If I could walk away now, I would walk away now. Bite your arm off.
Why didn't you?
He said, just wait and see if anyone renews. And then enough people renewed. And then he went, it's grown up stuff now, it's real. So now we have to start getting you to take it a bit more seriously. So let's ensure, I remember this, let's ensure you never burn out again. So even to this day, when I'm planning my year, so around Christmas, New Year, I'll be looking at the year ahead and I go, January, February, March, week off. April, May, June, week off. These days, August, we pretty much shut. We can't be seen to shut because people are paying for a membership for the year. So we do have one big party in August, but the rest of the time, we don't do anything.
Okay, so
Nothing happens.
here you are then.
Yeah.
You are into the business.
Yeah.
You've gone through burnout.
Yeah.
And you're saying Gary helped you pick you back
Yeah.
up out of this. What were some of your learns apart from the outsourcing side of it?
I wouldn't even say it's a luxury. I think get a coach. You will. It's a very personal thing. You'll know when you found someone you can work with. But essentially, they hold you to account. They're a fresh pair of eyes. They'll see things that you cannot see. And it's a safe space to bounce ideas. He was so helpful. That's a regret, actually. You asked me earlier, do I have any regrets? That is a regret now, I think, come to think of it, because we didn't part on well at all. We left it too long, and if I could go back and do one thing, I would get that right. Gary, if you're listening, I love you. But we've since seen each other, it's okay. And I also think there's only a limited period of time you can work with a coach, after which they can't really teach you anything more. And it's a bit like a tennis player and their coach. You'll start irritating each other.
Yeah.
So currently my coach is at the end of a telephone. We don't have regular sessions, but he'll check in. And he's a member anyway, so I run into him a lot. But yeah.
So let's go to this imposter syndrome, because it's something I see loads on the internet, people trying to define what imposter syndrome really means and how it feels.
Yep.
What does it mean to you?
What it meant to me was I could talk to, and I was mixing with business leaders, owners, etc., a lot of whom I had looked up to for years. If the conversation was about networking and business development, I was fine. But then they'd go, John, how's your business? And I would literally look around the room thinking, oh yeah, I've got one of those, haven't I? I did not feel comfortable in my skin at all, genuinely.
Was there any sort of mental training or exercises that you went through to develop that, or is it just time?
No.
Bear in mind, John Harvey, 55 years old, right? You're maturing in your years. You have experienced 30 years, of which the 80s was in there.
Yeah.
You have delivered some big deals and projects across the world, and there you are feeling like you didn't really fit into this role.
Absolutely. I felt like a complete fraud. And I know for a fact that a lot of business people feel that, whether they choose to admit it or not. If you get them in a safe space, they probably will, because you never feel good enough.
No.
And also I think there's that worry about you're going to be found out. And to this day, I still can't cut an invoice.
Can you not?
No. Seriously, I wouldn't begin to know how to cut an invoice.
Wow.
So my VA, my present VA, Joanne Manville, shout out to her, because when people say, how does the Sunfire, but I said Joe runs, there's a little coven. So Joanne, I'm going to name check them, okay, who
Don't forget anybody, because there'll be nothing worse than forgetting someone.
Oh, God. Okay, but Joanne Manville is my VA. She does my books. She does all the invoicing. She does the onboarding. Ever Seymour, who is in Penzance, writes all our content, has done since the day
Wow.
since the beginning. And we grew Sapphire off a mailing list, off a newsletter. Dave Hallett in Plymouth looks after the website. Murcott is my coach. Who have I forgotten now? I'm going to get Hannah Mepstead and her sister Tabitha, Unscripted Marketing, do our socials now. And that was a new thing from last year. I've bound to have forgotten someone, haven't I? But
So Samphire's up and launched.
Yeah.
How was it received across Cornwall then? Because there was lots going on in Cornwall
lots
at
of
the
curiosity.
time. Yeah, there was lots going
Yeah.
on. You had other networking organisations formulating or established.
Yeah.
How did you find your place in that sort of Cornish market? Because that's where it all started.
Yeah, it did. It was difficult because the Chamber of Commerce turned around and said, we're never going to get involved or support you. And I was the chairman of their members' council, so that was an interesting start. And I haven't spoken, I don't have a relationship with the Cornwall Chamber at all. I haven't spoken to that individual since the beginning. And yet, everybody out of county in those early years, wait, you two must know each other. And I go, yeah, he's a dick. Does a lot for Cornwall, but outside Cornwall, no one takes that seriously. It was interesting. What was the question?
So in terms of
where do you
fitting
find
into
your
Cornwall,
place?
yeah.
There was enough, but increasingly it became pretty obvious. To make it work, you're going to have to go out of Cornwall. You're Cornish, you live here. Outside Cornwall, the perception is if it's a company trying to engage with Cornwall, it'll be, how much? Can you do it cheaper? Can we get a grant? You're not from here. And there's nothing wrong with keeping it in the, I get that. I'm also Cornwall bred. But Cornwall doesn't want to pay for anything.
Do you think?
Yeah, it doesn't value anything. Try being a coach in Cornwall.
I think I'm going to push back a little bit.
Okay, do.
Rightly so, because I outside of this, run a station based in Cornwall, and that Cornish community has definitely rallied around the radio station and helped it through its first 5 years of business.
Cornwall will look after their own,
Yeah,
which
and
I love.
I was going to say, that's not a bad thing, is it?
No, I think it's a great thing. I love that. In the same way, try and do business in Wales if you're not Welsh, or Plymouth if you're not a Janner.
Yeah.
That's a tricky market. Exeter, to be fair, has been very kind to me, but it is tribal.
I think that there's a place for that, for what you're trying to achieve slightly different. If you are trading in Cornwall, it's great to have that connection and that local
Absolutely.
business. Yeah, and I'm proudly good at supporting local, and I do beat the drum about supporting local. But equally, I will welcome a business outside of Cornwall to get involved. So most of your business now is done outside of Cornwall,
Do
isn't
you know,
it?
now it's interesting because, again, at the end of 2024, I was burnt out again and I was stretching myself way too thin. I was trying to still do bits and bobs in Cornwall, do stuff in Bristol. It just all got on top of me but I can recognise the signs now. And I sat down with my coach between Christmas and New Year and I went, I've had a rest, I've had a look at it. 90% of our membership is Devon and Somerset. Who knew? So he said, what are you going to do? I said, I'm going to stop wasting time in Bristol. I always have to come back to Cornwall because I have a house in Penzance. So when I'm down, I always let people down here know, but it's not a formal schedule of Samphire events. It's more informal gatherings. Who's around? Who wants to come and have breakfast? Or let's all go to the beach. So it's different.
Do you try and take people from Cornwall into Devon, though, and Somerset?
Oh, all the ones down here, yeah, that want to expand outside, yes. I say you've got to come out of Cornwall. But if you do, I can introduce you to absolutely everybody.
Good.
Which is fun.
Samphire Club, let's talk about this.
Okay.
So what is the motto? What is the underlying thing with Samphire Club?
3 words. Just be nice. That's the whole culture is based on that. And that really means it's not transactional. Nobody sells. You'll never hear an elevator pitch in our world, ever. The members would just stamp on it. And it's this big community now. It's very collaborative, very supportive. There's Samphire WhatsApp groups. They wang on to each other all day. I have no idea what's going on. But it's nice. They look out for each other.
Business?
Sorry?
How do they do business then?
How do they do business? They end up getting to know each other, or they'll get to know each other and then it's in their DNA now is, what do you need? How can I help? Or is there something we can work on together? And I see a lot of collaborations coming up. There's lots I probably don't know about, but again, I don't know what is going on. But I don't have to be front and central anymore. I have to host the events. That is still...
I think there's an expectation,
Yep.
right?
Which is why, from the get-go, I knew I could never franchise it, and you can't license it either. It's just a lifestyle
But
thing.
it's you, isn't it?
Yeah.
That's what they're
Yeah.
buying. It's your black book.
It's my back book.
It's your connections.
Oh, the
your
other thing that came out of that burnout at the end of 24 was, I said to my coach, I said, John, what do you think? You're a member. What do you think is the most valuable thing about the membership for a member? And he went, oh God, John, easy, one-on-one time with you. And I went, that's the one thing I can't give them. I'm everywhere.
Yeah.
So now they all get one-on-one time with me. So I spend hours, I spend days in a hotel just having meetings, one-on-one, one after the other. They all end up with a little networking, a plan for them, and they all want different things. A lot of the time it is introductions, but it'll be, John, can we do an event? I want to do an event where I showcase what I do. And I went, yep, fine, but it can't be a pitch. But if we frame it as a Samphire member showing their knowledge and expertise, great. So I help them get the venue and we sell the ticket. That's fun. So some of the corporate members, it's like, can we do a curated lunch for some of our top clients? Or example, I took a law firm and some of their clients out on a Sunseeker for the day. Best use of their budget ever. So much fun. So much
And
fun.
you get to have all the fun too.
I just got to lie on the fly deck in the sun with the captain's hat on. Yeah.
Job done, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, Samphire's all about the networking,
Yep.
and you have written a book for the love of networking.
Yep.
Give us some top tips then when it comes to networking. Just give me maybe your top 5.
Top 5 tips, and you put me on the spot. Okay, again, just be nice. Say thank you to the organisers of an event, preferably in person before you leave the event, because not many people do, so they will remember you. Also, if you're leaving an event where there is a check-in desk with a name badge, I would get to that. If you're leaving, I would be one of the first to leave, dump your badge, and then hover there, because everybody's going to walk past you. And you will see people that you hadn't seen because they were on another table, and they go, oh, hi, that's cool.
That's a good one.
Oh, name check, Richard Carpenter and Exeter, to be honest, but
Yeah.
it's a great one. You go to award dinners and things,
Yeah.
don't you? There will be a table plan. Photograph that table plan. You've then got it in your phone. I use it during the meal if it's getting boring, and I just go, where's everyone's thing? And I'd be going, Richard, meet me in the bar in 10, this speaker's dreadful. So you've a record at the end on your phone permanently. The other delegate lists at events, I photograph them. I've got a file in my phone that is going back years. If you're ever worried, if you ever think, who should I call today? Voice notes.
Yeah.
So a way of keeping in touch with people. Voice notes are very powerful, in my opinion, because you can send someone a text, you can send someone a WhatsApp, but it's just text. There is no... But if you send them a voice note, one, they've got to open it, because you have to open it to read it, so they'd be curious. And you can say more with your... So if I'm at an event, a big event, and I'll be seeing people across the room, I know I'm not going to get to talk to all of them, but all the ones, I make a note on my phone of who I've seen, and I send them all a voice note, just going, saw you across the room, sorry I didn't get to say hi, let's have a coffee soon, or you were picking your nose. Just, you can have real fun with it. So that's a really useful tip.
I think you've given me at least 5 already.
There you go. And have a plan.
Yeah.
That's probably the most important thing. Most people do not have a networking plan that is written down, measured, and reviewed regularly. It's like a business plan.
I think that's very helpful advice. Some of that I already do, but
Yep.
actually very often I don't have the plan.
Yep.
So because you look and you think, oh, I'm going to go to this person,
Yeah.
but actually then they don't turn up, and then that throws your plan out, and then you get sidelined by something else.
And you must see it all the time down here in Cornwall.
Yeah.
I remember this. People who seem to go to absolutely everything, and you're
Yeah.
thinking, when are you ever doing any work?
What do you say to them?
Oh, I just go, you're not you're networking hard, but you will run out.
Smart.
I said, you need to network with intention. So, and it's really simple. What are you networking for? If it's BD, fine. What kind of people do you want to work with? Who would be, and if it's sector-based, fine. But then have a prospect, a funnel, a pipeline, all those things. Identify them, get on their radar, follow them on LinkedIn, start commenting. Where do they
I was
go
going
to
to say,
network?
like their posts and comments.
Yes,
One way to get
always,
fun.
always. Something I do every morning with a cup of tea in bed. I just go through LinkedIn. I'm looking for posts from people in my, especially members. I'll just normally something crass. Samphire member question mark? Hell yes, and just rubbish like that. But you can.
I think people underestimate the power of LinkedIn, actually.
I'm sure they do.
In terms of that is a networking tool.
Oh my God.
What's your feeling on LinkedIn, though, when somebody decides, it's a bit like dating, I think, LinkedIn.
Yep.
Sometimes it's nice to buy them a drink before you go in for the snog, right?
Yes.
Whereas with LinkedIn, a lot of people forget buying the drink, forget the snog, and go straight through.
Do you know what? Yeah, you meet someone on LinkedIn. You meet someone at an event, you hook them on LinkedIn, and then unasked, they suddenly send you a proposal. Yes, which I think is very off.
Yeah.
I normally send them a message going, we've only just met. You're trying to stick your tongue down my throat. Stop it. It's rude. You know, but people do. But LinkedIn is if I meet someone at an event and we do the cardy thing, I still like a business card.
Yeah.
First place I'm going to look is LinkedIn. I want to know who you know that I know. I want to hear at the bottom, what are people saying about you? Have you got any recommendations? Your photograph, is it
Do you
professional
notice, by
shot?
the way, sorry to
Yeah.
cut in, but recommendations,
Yep.
how many people don't have them? I make a thing, I think I've got 50 or 60 on mine now. And actually, you've got to also remember to keep them up to date.
Yep.
Because having won 3 years, your last one 3 years ago, even if you've got 50,
Yep.
it doesn't matter. And it's about getting those
Yeah,
recommendations
and
in.
also who.
Yeah.
Rather than lots, you can't have too many. But if you've only got 6, but they're really cool people, or really...
Are you happy to leave me a recommendation
Yes.
on LinkedIn? You've heard this.
Yes.
I will be checking.
Okay, I will
will
do
be
it
checking.
later this afternoon, and I will expect one back.
Of course.
But it is a thing, because if you go and see, oh my God. Here's the thing, LinkedIn, a networking tip, which I do with LinkedIn, it wouldn't work for everybody, but I don't know if you see it, but I put a LinkedIn post out most mornings just saying where I'm going, who I'm seeing, and I tag them. I didn't do it today for you because I'm still on holiday, but that post gets looked at by an awful lot of people. They go, John, I'll wait for that.
We'll get a photo done in a minute. You can see where you've been and who you've been with.
Okay, and I'll post tomorrow. But equally, people, that started as a joke. I thought it'd just be quite funny until someone told me it's really clever. And I went, really? And they went, oh my God, you don't even realise. I said, no, I have no idea. It's a joke.
Do you think some of your success just comes by accident?
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Do you know what? These days, yes, a bit, but most of the good stuff for Samphire will come from either my inner team, and none of them work for me, or the members. Example, one member went, I've got this idea. I think we should all go for a walk on Dartmoor with dogs, and then we can go to a pub for lunch afterwards. And I went, cool.
Did they get you at the pub or the walk?
No, I went on the walk too. I said, fine, but you set it up and we'll do it. And we did. Really popular. I wouldn't have thought of it.
A couple of quick fire questions then to finish with.
Okay.
So
we nearly have time.
Who is your biggest inspiration in business?
There's a networking guy in the States called Keith Ferrazzi, who wrote a book called Never Eat Alone, which is one of my favourite networking books.
Amazing.
And I think he sounds like a porn star. It's a great name.
Do you think your name sounds like a porn star?
No.
You sure?
Yes.
Am I right in saying your middle name is Perrier?
Yeah, it is, as in the water. Good research.
Well,
Yes.
I think there's scope yet.
Okay.
You haven't got nothing on you, I reckon.
Okay.
Look, John, I'll leave it at that. Thank you so much for coming in.
Thank you.
I really appreciated some of the honesty that's come out of you today. And there's some real insights into who you are. I said, before you coming in and doing this today, you were the guy that I saw in all the photographs with a glass of fizz in the hand and some food. You were a serial networker and schmoozer. It's nice to hear that
word.
Yeah, John Harvey's grown up from the schmoozer, has evolved into a collaborator. Let's go with that.
Okay, I'll take it.
Thank you very much for your
Richard,
time.
thank you very much for having me. It's been a joy.
Thank you. If you want to get involved again in any of Owners Off Script, please get in touch, like and love and share the page, and be looking out for some more new episodes.
Owners Off Script. Real owners, real conversations. Supported by SalesGeek.